Hey, this is a very quick overview on how I have my Arcdps windows formatted. If you're looking for an in-depth guide to Arcdps, check out this video from Arcdps. You can find the link in the description. Now without further ado, let's hop in. Okay, so let's see how we can get those windows formatted this way. Open Arcdps options with Shift plus Alt plus T. So the main windows that we have here are area stats windows. You can see there are a bunch of those boxes ticked, and if you want to add more, you can just click on this plus sign, which will add more area stats windows. These are now new windows that have just some default settings, and let's see how we can adapt those. What I want to recreate now is the formatting of those four windows in the upper right hand side corner here. We have incoming damage, wound strips, cleanses, and breakbar. To change what is shown in the windows, we have to go under the advanced stats option here in the context menu, and we have a bunch of options here that allow us to show different squad combat stats. Important is that you select squad combat stats and not player combat stats, because we want to have the information of the whole squad. The only exception is incoming damage, which you can get if you just tick this checkbox here. And for the other ones, we can just select the corresponding metric that we want to show. Strips, cleanses, and breakbar. So next we want to adapt the styling. All of the other options here don't matter for the formatting that I'm using, so I just skip those for now. So a couple of things that we can notice. We have a different title bar, we have no background, and we also don't have this index number here shown. So we can adapt this by going under display and deactivating the index numbers. Next we can go under style, deactivate the default title and the background, and then we can go back under display and enter a title bar name. And voila, the information that is shown is already similar to the new window here. The only difference left to change is the window width, and this we can do under style again with this option here. For the other windows it's the same process, so let me quickly do that. And these are our windows. But we're not done yet. The position for those windows is fixed. So that's the final step under the position menu. Instead of the manual option, we select the screen relative position. The next thing is that you choose an anchor. So this is just the side or the corner of the screen where you want to anchor it. As an example, I just select top right here. And for X and Y, I just select 500. So what this results in is that our incoming damage window is put here and we can't move it anymore. Next we have the remaining windows. You could do the same, or a more convenient option is to use the last option under position, which is the window relative position. What this does is that you can position windows relative to other windows. You can see that the title names of the existing windows changed. So what we can do is we just enter the name down here where we want to anchor this window to. So we anchored it to the incoming damage window now. However, it's still the wrong side. This is the last option, and to get it on the correct side, we have to select from anchor top left to anchor top right. And now we can see that it's on the same position next to the initial window. And just as a showcase what this does, if we deselect the screen relative position from the initial incoming damage window to manual back, we can move this window and the other window is tied or anchored to the main window. Notably though, we can't move the second window. We can repeat the steps for the remaining two windows to get the final result. And now our block with 4 windows is done. You can see that it's basically the same if I just move it over the initial windows. Next, let's have a look at the DPS window. Now we have a new window here again. I'll just remove the index numbers again, and the background and the default title. For the DPS window, we can see a little bit more differences than for the other ones. Notably, the information that is shown in the rows for each player is formatted completely different. We can look at the formatting if we go under Display and have a look at the bottom two options here. We have on the one hand the title bar format, where we not only have a name, but also some dots with numbers, and the stats format. And if you read the tooltip, dot 3, for example, is target per second, dot 1 is cleave per second. So you can use this syntax to show specific metrics in your fields. So let's rebuild this now. And in the main menu, we have target total, which is 4, then target per second, which was 5, and cleave per second, which is 2. And this is already it. Now the formatting is similar to the other window. You can of course play around with this and use different separators or however you want to present the numbers. Lastly, we have the boon table. This is not built into Arc by default. You have to get the extension. Link is in the description. Then you can just activate it here in Arcdps options and configure it in a similar way. Similar to the other stuff, you can choose the position, you can choose the style. Contrary to the other windows, I selected the background here because if you would deselect it, the numbers and the bars are not that well visible. And under column setup, you can set the specific boons that you want to see. Additionally, there's also the option to show many different profession buffs. And that's it. I hope this quick setup helps and see you around.